Hey, yo, what up, people? This your boy Carlos Miller, the prodigal son.
Jesus came out the grave, diamond in the rough. From the cradle to the grave, death was just a scuff. The devil had ammunition, but it's just a bluff. We trying to make it through life like
And this is the prodigal son, baby. God is good, Jesus is great, and God don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? And we about to get right into the topic at hand. All right, man? I know I'm very late on discussing this topic, at least based off how the algorithm do things. But I had to get this message out there, man, and just talk about it because I come from that lifestyle and I've experienced that to a certain. I'm I'm a part of that, and I could have been in the same position one day if I kept going down the way I was going. These kind of things hit me kind of hard, sometimes, and it ain't because they're famous, but they are in the public eye, so it makes them quite more visible than other people, unless it's in the news or word of mouth or whatever. But these things get to me all the time, and actually, I have at least three close friends that I was amongst, that I was with, that was like real deal partners of mine. That's pretty much their minds are gone. You know what I'm saying? Because of I believe, well, I know for sure one or two of them, it's because of all the years of the substance abuse. And I can see little by little how that got them to where they at now. And I would have been the same way. And in certain cases, I was the same way. And who we're talking about? Let's get into it. Rich Homie Qaun. We know Rich Homie Qaun has died, and the details have been the overdose of some what they call Molly, or I guess one of those pills. I'll just say that, one of those pills. And I was someone that was a pill. I was a pill popper. I mean, I've always went for weed and alcohol more than anything, and lean. Any kind of way I could get lean, if it was the actual, legit prescription cough syrup, or if it was some like over the counter, some Tylenol, Multi-Cold symptom kind of stuff. I had my own little way I did things, so I was an abuser. I abused, what I'm saying, different drugs and stuff. So yeah, man, I was one of those that was out there in that lifestyle, and actually I used to somewhat sell pills, you know what I'm saying? So I was I would find pills, and in one of the neighborhoods I stayed in, one of the dope boys, he sold weed and did different things, did tattoos and different things, but he sold pills. So I go, if I find pills, I bring them to him, and he'll research them just to see if they legit. And I sell them to him for a price, and he go out and sell them and make his money however he make it. And I got in that business, if you want to call that business, that kind of route, based off my grandmother. My grandmother used to sell her pills, her prescription pills, and that's how I got into it. And so that and not her directly teaching me that's what to do, but that was one of the ways she made money, and we all knew it. And we was in the car when we was younger in the middle of those transactions. So you never know in life how your life progresses, and how you begin to, how to put it, um uh not reflect, but imitate those things that you grew up seeing. And sometimes it's not even that you're trying to, it's just, it's almost like muscle memory. You do something that you just used to doing, something you're accustomed to. So that's how I got on that game, man. But my condolences out for this young man. He was just 2 years older than me, man, and just coming from that life. And if I was of his status still living that life, I would have probably been in the same position, unfortunately. Uh, so I understand all about that, man. My condolences go out to him. Man, I can remember, like, before I gave my life to Christ, man, I can remember just being, I look back and see and look, just meditate and watch and see pictures, and I realized how much of a zombie I was. Like, I was turned into a legit zombie. Um, and, that's why on one of my songs, it's not been released yet, but I talk about the dope going to your head, messing up your actual dopamine, causing you to be brain dead. But we're losing too many youngins, man. We're losing too many youngins off of the nonsense, and I can't point it directly to this person or that person, but this is what I have to say. Once you continue to imitate the wrong kind of people, or we continue to go the wrong direction, it's going to do nothing but make this situation worse. You know what I'm saying? So in our younger days, we was following OGs, and now we're in this position of being sometime in worse predicaments than they was. And it's just going to continue to trickle down and trickle down and trickle down. You know what I'm saying? Every generation is going to have their problems, but understand that just because you have problems don't mean that they don't come from something else. You know what I'm saying? But man, I just wish people would stop and understand that this party life and this life that we're living, that we think is the life or the lifestyle to live, is not really the life. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many people that's in these situations and in these lifestyles that have no peace, that are really struggling with issues. You know what I'm saying? And the drugs and the dope is making it worse for their lives. And in the midst of the issues they already have, is making them addicts to something. You know what I'm saying? And it's just coming an ongoing problem. Like, make no mistaken, it's people making music about this party music and doing this and doing that and doing all these drugs, and females getting freaky and blah blah blah. But understand that that lifestyle bring issues, and in that lifestyle are people with issues. You know what I'm saying? So this is not, the music try to portray it like it's this, but when you sit back, you realize, man, like, people had real deal issues, man. I remember one time being at this hotel, and it was this this young lady, however you want to put it. This was at least 14 years ago. She was having issues, I guess, with her husband, and she was drunk. She wasn't with her husband at the time. She was out of town with some friends, and she was very, very intoxicated. And they invited us in the room, and to hang out and do what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? And I seen how messed up she was. You know what I'm saying? And she was, how to put it, she may seem like she was having a good time, but she wasn't fully having a good time. You know what I'm saying? The liquor and the weed and all that was kind of drowning out her problems. I wouldn't even say drowning out. It's just giving her that momentarily release. You know what I'm saying? Over the situations that she had going on. So I'm using that to say, man, it's no true peace in this, man. Like, yeah, they rap about it and they put it over beats and they make it sound like something, but it's bringing you down a dark hole. You know what I'm saying? And I was one that was Never told nobody, but at the end, of living that life, not even realizing that I was just very sick, but I was getting sick. Like my lungs was just not good anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, there was times where I was like lightly puffing blunts and stuff like that because my lungs just wasn't taking it anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I started smoking at like age 13. Age 13. And I was like 17 at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I was, from those years, I was going hard at just being on substances. Um, Man, I've seen people, man, that, they can get really messed up on these drugs, man. And minds really can get messed up. So I'm telling you, it's not as fun as they say it is. And if that is life, if that is the only way to have a good time, then I don't need that good time. Man, it's people that's really been taken advantage of because they are out of their mind on something. You know what I'm saying? Or they're in a position where they was defenseless in a situation because they was out of their mind on something. Understand that everybody don't love you, man, and that people have issues. And when they get on these drugs, those issues even get worse. You know what I'm saying? And some people are not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. You know, I can never forget, man, and I don't know where this guy is at today, but I truly appreciate this guy. One of my partners, real close partner, that house I used to be at, and this partner, even back then, 14 years ago, used to be in and out of rehab, and had been in and out of rehab ever since then. Could never, well, I don't know exactly where he at now, but the last time I knew, he was trying to go to the emergency room to see can they send him to rehab. He always come back, and when I was younger, I put myself a part of that because when I was younger, I got him back on his first blunt once he got out of rehab. You know what I'm saying? Because you being dumb and ignorant, you miss your partner and you miss y'all getting high together, and he trying to get clean, and he went back, you know what I'm saying, and got worse, and you know what I'm saying, he constantly being in and out. Now since then I've always tried to reach out to him, and you try to right your wrongs and stuff like that, but he just flat out told me like I'm a fiend, and I pretty much like I can't be like you, Carlos, which I think that's crazy because we was once the same, in the same lane, and the same kind of people. Um, and life could have got much darker than what it was. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't know where I could have been today, but I know from the state I was at that time, it couldn't have been good. Even if I had money, that don't, money is not the ultimate solution to everything. It could have been a lot of things going on with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Even with money. So I man, I really just hate that the young dude and died behind something like that. It seems as though he kind of stayed out of the way of a lot of stuff like Young Thug had going on. He seems like he stayed out. He got at least far enough out the life where he wasn't caught up still in the life like Young Thug and the rest of them. But the drugs just done took him under. You know what I'm saying? The drugs done took him under, man. And I'm just sorry that really happened, man. Because I'm telling you, man, these people out here in the streets don't love you. And just getting back to, man, I remember a cat, man, one time at my partner house, a real close partner of mine, man. We was hanging out, and used to always be some dudes, a little distance, like in this little field, always hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time one of the guys was over there at the house, and he was smoking a blunt, and I was like, hey, man, let me hit it. And he was like, nah, you don't want this. And I'm like, man, what's up, man? Why you want it? He's like, oh, man, this lace right here, I can't, I don't know if he said I can't let you hit it, but he told me like, nah, you ain't hitting this. And I appreciate the guy for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was not down, but on his substance, I'm pretty sure he realized and know what it's done to him. He wasn't finna let me go that route, and this guy was much older than me. You know what I'm saying? So to this day, I appreciate him not allowing that, because some people just give it to you, wanting to see you get high, or want you to be like them, or trying to see, your reaction, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always forever grateful and thankful for that guy, man. I wish I could see him today and tell him I appreciate him, and also, help him if he's still on that kind of tip in life. Man, but I'm telling y'all, these streets don't love you, man. These streets all about a dollar. It's all about a buck. And if they can get away with something, they gonna get away with it. And I'm pretty sure, man, if somebody gave them some bad stuff, I'm pretty sure they know who gave it to them, you know what I'm saying? Or the person know it came from his supply, but ain't nobody really gonna confess up to that, because that's just a part of the streets, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunate, man, unfortunate. I didn't Rich Homie Qaun was a little past my ears for the hip hop music, because around that time I had let go of that music. I wasn't listening to it, but I did know of him, and I did know of the songs, just because everywhere you go, you couldn't go nowhere without hearing those songs. But still, just unfortunate, man, that young dude and died from that kind of stuff, man. Y'all stay off them drugs, man. Stay off them drugs. I'm telling you, man, it's so many guys and so many females that made bad decisions being on them drugs and being around a group and a crowd of people, and it's so many people that got regrets in their life right now. I promise you, it's a lot of these people got a lot of regrets in their life behind the decisions that they've made from being off their mind on these substances, y'all. And I'm telling y'all to go get the help you need. I would tell you the ultimate solution is Jesus. And I say that because I tried him, and he was my solution. He was my solution. He was how I got off the drugs. Actually, man, probably up until the pandemic, I never even tasted or took any kind of cough medicine, just because when I was younger, the addiction. You know what I'm saying? So that was me. Just because I didn't want to feel like my body is finna remember something. But yeah, y'all. Get off these drugs. But I tell you, Jesus is the answer. And I call myself the prodigal son because I was just like the prodigal son, y'all. And God brought me back. And that is my testimony. That's why I say, you're never too far lost that you can't be found. Because I was found when I was lost. I was lost when I was found. And this is the prodigal son brought back by the cross, baby. Hey, and I also want you all to know, go check out your boy music. Carlos Miller, The Prodigal Son. Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. You can even go on Bandcamp and look me up. You know what I'm saying? You can buy the songs, man. Support your boy, man. God is good. And if you like anything I say, man, give me a like and a subscribe, for you can hear more. And you can hear a little more of my story, man. Out of here.